Once upon a time, in the village of Ibadan, there lived a beautiful young woman named Ìyábọ. In this Yoruba community, a woman's worth was often judged by the slenderness of her waist, and the slimmer a woman's figure, the more desirable she was considered by the men. As a young girl, Ìyábọ had a normal, healthy body shape, just like the other girls in the village. However, as she grew older, she developed an uncontrollable appetite. No matter how much food was placed before her, Ìyábọ could not seem to have her fill. Before long, she had become the fattest woman in the entire village of Ibadan. The men of the village, who had once admired Ìyábọ for her beauty, now turned their attention to the slimmer, more traditionally attractive women. One by one, Ìyábọ's friends found husbands and started families, while she remained single and alone in her father's compound, growing older with each passing day. Mr. Shogun, Ìyábọ's caring father, became increasingly worried that his daughter would never find a suitable husband. He knew that all of Ìyábọ's younger sisters had already married and were living happily with their spouses, leaving only Ìyábọ still single. One day, Mr. Shogun heard that the son of one of his good friends, a young man named Tommy, had recently returned to the village after living in the city for many years and was looking to take a wife. Excited at this opportunity, Mr. Shogun quickly arranged for Tommy to come and meet Ìyábọ, with the hope that they might marry. When Ìyábọ heard about the potential suitor visiting, she was overjoyed. Could this finally be my chance to get married, like all my friends and sisters? She thought to herself. The night before Tommy's visit, the excited Ìyábọ spent hours dressing and grooming herself, determined to make the best impression. The next day, Tommy arrived at the Shogun family compound, but as soon as he set his eyes on the very fat Ìyábọ, his face fell in disappointment. "I cannot marry this mountain of a woman," he said rudely, staring at Ìyábọ's large frame in disgust. Without another word, he turned and left the compound. Ìyábọ was utterly heartbroken. All the joy and excitement she had felt moments ago faded away instantly. She went back to her room, locked the door, and cried uncontrollably for days. "I will never find a husband," she cried over and over again. "No man will ever want to marry me." After spending days cooped up in her room, crying, Ìyábọ finally got tired of hiding away and feeling depressed. "There has to be a solution to my problem," she thought. She knew exactly where to turn, the great river goddess. Ìyábọ left the house and walked through the village until she reached the river's edge. Taking a deep breath, she called out in a loud voice, "Great river goddess, please hear my call and come to my aid. I am in desperate need of your assistance." As if by magic, the river's surface began to bubble and churn, and then an incredibly beautiful woman with shiny blue skin emerged from the churning water. It was the river goddess herself. "What can I do for you, young lady?" the river goddess asked. "Please, great goddess, make me slim and beautiful like the other ladies my age," Ìyábọ pleaded, tears filling her eyes. "All the men in the village have rejected me because of my body size, and all my friends are married, and here I am, still unwanted and alone. Please help me become slim so I can find a husband to marry me. I beg of you." The river goddess regarded Ìyábọ with a look of pity and understanding. "My dear, you are beautiful, just the way you are. You must learn to love yourself despite what others may think. However, I will assist you. Before the next market day, you will find a man who will love you, cherish you, and take you as his wife. This I promise." Ìyábọ thought about what the river goddess had said, and the promise of finally finding a husband was thrilling. But this was not enough for her anymore. Her face hardened with hatred and anger. "First, I want all the men in this village who have rejected and humiliated me all these years to suffer," she said. "I want to pay for all the pain that they have put me through with their cruel words and looks of disgust." The river goddess was silent for a moment. Then she simply said, "It is done. Your wish is granted." The next morning, a great commotion broke out in the village of Ibadan. All the men awoke to find their manhoods had completely vanished overnight. No explanation could be found for this mysterious disappearance. Panicked, the men rushed to consult the village juju priest, a man considered to have great mystical powers and knowledge of the spirit world. It was he who gave the men the shocking answer to their plight. After consulting my oracle, the Juju priest proclaimed, "It is Ìyábọ, the fat woman, who has taken away all your manhoods as an act of revenge for the humiliation and rejection she had suffered at your hands for so many years." The Juju priest continued, "The only way for your manhoods to be restored is for every man to sleep with Yabo. Until then, you will all remain as you are, incomplete men." A collective groan went through the crowd of men as they realized their fate. The Juju priest's words were absolute. If they wanted to be made whole again, they would have to sleep with the fattest, most undesirable woman in the village.